pals, and Harry here from Drake Wing Gaming, a 70-mile tour to the gaming drag. Today I'm coming back at you with the Let's Play episode of Arches. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go! Thanks, Devon. I'm sorry I'm such a piece of shit. What? Honey, where did that come from? I know that's something you wouldn't say, but I'd rather you tell me when I'm being awful. I don't want to go back to the way I was. It's quiet for a moment. Whoa, this got you that fucked up, huh? That's all you gotta say, Artie? Dev doesn't sound angry at Artie anymore, much to Cameron's relief. Just very tired. Still, this is all pretty standard stuff, especially when you got low tolerance. And I'm not trying to be a dick when I say that I'm actually a little jealous. Correct me if I'm wrong, Cam, but it looks cathartic as hell. You're not being a dick, it's just not a smart thing to say right now, Arturo. Art's right. I feel really in touch with my feelings right now when Cameron absent-mindedly shoves a cracker into his muzzle and stops. The salty, savory flavor is so satisfying he has to use all of his focus to appreciate it. Fuck, that's good. Arturo laughs. Cameron shoves a strip of jerky that's lightly seasoned with hot sauce into his mouth, combining the flavors, and he moans again. Devon sighs in a defeated but accepting sort of way. That makes Cam feel even better. That, even though he did something stupid, Devon seems to understand. Hey, let me in on some of that. Alright, but eat slow. This food is for survival, not for your munchies. We'll be out of here by noon, Dev. Relax. Don't say that. Devon sighs as he leans up against the tailgate, covering his face with his paws, then grunts with annoyance as he has to move to let Artie by. Trust me, I'm trying. That's a good picture. Seeming to disregard Devon's advice to take it slow, Artie starts cramming jerky into his muzzle, moaning like Cameron. Snacks are so much better when you're high versus like an actual meal, you know? Cameron doesn't know, but nods enthusiastically. I can't believe this. Devon's tone is one of actual disbelief. Arturo glances lazily at Cameron. Is Devon being a fucking Nazi about everything new, or have you been putting up with this for a while? It's weird after knowing how he acted in college. Cameron leans against the tailgate, smiling at Devon. I've been doing some dangerous shit during an investigation, and Devon's just trying to keep us safe. He's wonderful, and I love him. Devon looks at him and just gives him a small smile without saying anything. Oh? You gonna let me in on what's going on between you two? Because I think we can all admit that it's been super awkward so far. Hasn't it, though? This must be fucking weird for you. They both laugh, and the obnoxious snorts that Cameron makes only make him snort louder. It's just not really something that you need to know about. It sounds rude. I know that sounds rude, but I'm psychic. Dev's eyes widen. Cameron doesn't help to fill the silence that follows. Huh? Like, you can see the future, or...? Water time. I can see ghosts, and maybe the future. I don't really know how it works. I'm trying to figure it out. Cameron hadn't really given it much thought, but seeing the future seemed to be part of it. Ooh, that's fucking awesome! Devon shifts around, and Cameron can tell he's not exactly happy about him talking to Artie about this. He has to wonder why. Shit, I think my aunt was super psychic. Super psychic? As opposed to what, sorta psychic? No, she had, like, tarot cards and shit, and told half my siblings that were up to shady shit that the cartel was gonna disappear them. Well, did they get disappeared? I mean, one died after routine surgery, but the cartel wasn't involved, as far as I know. That's so sad. Sorry, I don't know why I laughed. It's cool, I get it. So, not really psychic, or at least not like himself. Feels wrong to him, but Cameron feels almost dismissive of anyone that doesn't see things like he does. He's different, in a good way, and for once he feels like he can admit that. He had seen his friend's death a few months before it happened, and he'd had dreams that were so accurate to the future that it had seemed almost like deja vu. I'm gonna go for a walk. Everything looks really neat right now. Dope! Let's go see some ghosts! Devon sighs heavily again, but helps Cameron down from the trunk, a Cody leaning against him as they start walking. At this point, Devon has resigned himself to the fact that Cameron is going to do what he wants, and all Devon can do is respect his decision. While already reminding him more than once that Cameron as an adult had been annoying, it's also true that Devon has no right to take that decision away from Cameron. There's still a part of him that's hurt that Cameron would disregard his own feelings on the matter, especially after opening up to him by the lake. But Devon also disregarded Cameron's feelings when bringing him here, at least to an extent that the bear had thought was reasonable. Now it seems he's reaping what he has sowed. Still, Devon remembers and brings up something that should keep them from venturing too far into the town. We should only go as far as the motel. Cam and I had to brush with some gun-toting redneck near the other side of the town last night. Whoa, really? Cameron giggles. One yelled at us from really far away, and Dev ran so hard he got a gnarly cramp in his thigh. Again, he had a shotgun. Doesn't that bother you guys? Artie? Artie shrugs. Meh, I've had guys flash their guns at me on the road because I flipped them off. Every one of them is too chicken shit to shoot. And this was even when I flew the old Azui Blanco on my car. But luckily for you, people here don't even know what that is. Now, if I were to mount a Sonoran flag on my Jeep while also flipping the bird... Anyway, I say we stick around this area, no further than the motel. You should be more careful though, Artie. I swear I hear a road rage story every few months where someone gets shot. Honestly, Cam, if that's my fork in the road, I say let it happen. You gotta live, and if that involves getting shot on the freeway because you made fun of someone's driving, then so be it. Is it really a fork in the road if the other option is death? Yeah, one of the roads just leads to a dead end or something. I don't know. I'm high as hell right now. I think the metaphor is more appropriate for longer-term consequences, though. Devon just smirks at the meaningless banter about the fork in the road metaphors that must seem so profound to them right now. You know, my mom always talks about her fork in the road being in the 5th grade, and that it led to her having a shitty life. Seems kinda young to have a decision like that come up. I think she just likes to be able to point at a moment everything went wrong. But anyway, they've been hyping up the space shuttle launch for months, and she decided she was going to be an astronaut. She went to this public library for the first time in her life to check out books about astrophysics and stuff. Dev suddenly has a good idea where this is going. Then, while the whole class was watching the liftoff on live TV, it exploded, and even though her teacher turned it off and went about the day like nothing happened, they all knew those astronauts were dead. It made her question all of her plans, and she drifted through her life after that, not knowing what she wanted to be anymore. Damn, that's fucked up, man. Do you know why that happened, by the way? Cameron gives Dev a confused look, and so does Artie, like they forgot he's even there. Why my mom didn't know what to do? It's because she watched clips of smiling, waving astronauts getting on a space shuttle that then exploded live on TV, Devon. Devon sighs, realizing he needs to make things more clear for this high version of Cameron. No, I mean, why that space shuttle exploded. Because rockets and fuel can cause explosions, right? No, well, yeah, but mainly... Dev refocuses his train of thought. It's because they didn't listen to their engineers. You know, the people that stand between you and a pancaked shopping mall, or a freeway bridge collapsing during rush hour, or an exploding space shuttle. Dev raises his brows meaningfully at Cameron, though weirdly enough, he realizes that he's mainly talking to himself. Always listen to your engineer. His half-assed attempt at making the conversation about listening to his advice quickly backfires, though. Well, if those engineers were like the ones on Pueblo, I'm willing to bet more people would have listened to them if they didn't act like such know-it-all pricks. Someone's still sore from having to drop out of their major. Fuck you, too! Hey, come on, guys, you're feeling good right now. You know, Artie, I've dated an engineer for 5 years now. They gotta talk down to you to do their job. Cameron walks against Devon and playfully nudges him with a shoulder. Even though Cameron is playing along with what Devon started, hearing his boyfriend say that actually stings a little bit. Babe, I don't talk down to you. I don't mean to, anyway. Arturo makes a face, and Dev does his best to pretend like he doesn't see it. Hey, I'm just kidding. I agree with you. If people let disasters happen because they're too proud to listen to experts, then fuck them. Maybe if they had, my mom would be on the space station right now. Maybe. Mistakes happen, though. They remind us to keep our guard up, because it always slips eventually, you know? I think I do. Dev smiles, pleasantly surprised that Cameron seems to be heeding his advice to be careful. For the first time in a day, he finds himself starting to relax a little. The end of this bizarre nightmare is in sight. They're already starting to circle back around to the car. You know, it's kind of amazing to think about how you two are still together. It brings Dev out of his reverie rather quickly. Why's that? Well, all our other friends didn't last more than a few years out of college, and if you think about it, you and Cam are probably the biggest opposites out of all those relationships. I think the most important thing in a relationship is getting along. If you can do that for 99% of the time, you're probably set. That, and having different hobbies and spending time apart adds to a healthy relationship. Man, sometimes you sound like a self-help relationship book or something. Maybe that's why. I think it's just that we're both reasonable people. That's usually all you need. Well, I'm really happy it all worked out, especially after your first relationship. Honestly, looking back, I was basically setting Cam up to be your boyfriend, be your rebound. I wasn't really meaning to, of course. You know, I forgot how you sometimes manage to always say the wrong thing at the wrong time, Artie. Well, it has been a long time, so I'm interested. I just wonder who you were with before me. All you've said is that they were like a month-long fling. Artie seems to take this as the go-ahead to reveal irrelevant and embarrassing information about Dev's previous love life. It was a fox named Jesus, right, Devon? I never brought him up because the relationship lasted literally 2 months. A fox, huh? Cameron says it in a contemplative way, in a way that makes Devon uneasy, even though the coyote's probably just truly curious. Still, Devon has to wonder if Cam is now suspecting he has a canine fetish or something. Well, yeah, it was short, but when he dumped Dev, he went to the full chick flick route and laid in bed for a week eating ice cream. I was so worried about him that I set the two of you up. Devon's muzzle burns under the fur, even hotter in the heat of the desert. Why did I ever tell you anything in confidence? Well, it's more like I saw it, like the entire dorm did. Is that true, Devon? To Devon's dismay, Cameron sounds genuinely interested now, combined with a genuine degree of concern. You seemed so put together when I first met you. Dev avoids answering. It wasn't you that set us up. You mentioned to me your girlfriend's friend who happened to be Cameron's friend. She set us up. Yeah, you can word it how you like, but if I didn't remember them mentioning the super hot guitar coyote, too bad he's gay, dude. Who knows where you'd be now? Ah, yeah, that's me. And less than a week later, I knew it worked because I walked in on the two of you fucking. Oh god, why are you bringing that up? Yeah, why? Because it was funny. Besides, I walked in on like a dozen people going at it at some point. Hell, back in the university library was open 24/7, you had a 50-50 chance of walking in on a pair of rats getting it on at 2 a.m. in one of the back rooms. Arturo prattles on to Cameron while Devon sulks behind a bit. The bear finds himself wishing he'd been the one to tell Cameron about all that. The way Artie described it made him sound unstable in a way. The fox had been cute, but Devon never really got to know him before Jesus abruptly broke it off. When he first met Cameron, on the other hand, he was cute and hot, especially with his guitar and voice, but that was just the surface stuff. Cameron was also nice and considerate and thoughtful and complex in ways that the bear is still trying to fully understand. Devon had his girlfriends in high school, so people wouldn't get suspicious, but the fox had been what he considered his first real relationship, and he'd simply overreacted to his first real breakup. Looking back on his 19-year-old self, it's hard to understand why it had felt like the end of the world. If Cameron were to disappear from his life now, it would be the end of the world, and the world that he knows at least. Maybe for some terrible reason it did come to an end. He would look back 10 years from now and think the same about his 25-year-old self. But he doubts that. 5 years is a long time, and he plans to spend the rest of his life with Cameron. Like that fling in college, losing Cameron would be a traumatic, life-changing disaster. Just thinking about it now makes his throat tighten. The abyss he's felt below his feet since he was 12, that emotional scar left over from the last traumatic event in his life, seems to yawn a bit wider. The bear thinks back to the point he'd been trying to make about engineers helping to avoid catastrophic failures, and why it had felt like he had been talking to himself. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. I love you all, and I shall see you all in the next video. Happy Halloween, y'all! Bye-bye!